Cheers, motherfuckers! It's not easy being cheesy. That's what she said when you whipped it out. Trevor.
Candy somebody brought back and it was like a damaged box. So like sometimes we would just like chunk a hot tamales. Oh yeah. And be like, oh my gosh, that is so damaged. What happened? And then we'd eat it. Yeah. So it's bad to work in that environment. You're just eating a bunch of stuff you wouldn't have eaten because you're bored.
Yeah. You guys are wild. So I worked at a Starbucks.
Oh.
And this was like not too long ago. And you know what we used to do? We used to pee in the coffee.
What?
I'm kidding. I'm joking. No, we didn't.
Freaking out in the drive-thru of Starbucks.
We didn't do that. I just tried to one-up you guys.
If hijacking was considered an interstate crime.
On March 7th, 1960, the feds locked in on Greg Scarpa. They arrested him in connection with an attempted hijacking of a truck carrying cigarettes 3 months earlier. A week later, armed with a search warrant, agents found 84 cases of stolen liquor linked to another hijacking in Scarpa's garage. For the first time in his life, Greg Scarpa faced years behind bars. But the feds were prepared with another option.
The FBI, they knew he was a made guy. One of the agents said, hey, maybe this guy will flip.
The FBI had never flipped a made man before. But they'd also never come face to face with Greg Scarpa.
This 4th of July, celebrate your freedom by watching others lose theirs.
Hello?
4 days and 4 nights of God.
What's up, my guy? Not much.
The only thing more American than trucks and apple pie.
Everybody's good.
Starts this weekend at New Eastern. Real Streets of Reels. Trilogy for COTD.
I'm watching Mobsters on Reels.
If you've been playing down your COPD,
Start a new day with Trelegy.
Talking about Greg Scarpa.
Once daily COPD medicine has the power to treat COPD in as many ways as Trelegy, with 3 medicines in one inhaler. And improves lung function. It also helps prevent future problems. Trelegy won't replace a respiratory. Do not take Trelegy more than prescribed. Trelegy may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, breathing changes, or accident occur. Take it today and start. Ask your doctor about once daily Trelegy and save at Trelegy.com.
It's a beer opener that turns off all work apps.
Let's invite Jacques.
Let's not invite Jacques.
Whoa!
Yeah, he struggles on conference calls, but he's such a dedicated employee.
You're right.
Hey, Jacques, come join us.
Oh.
Uh-oh, you heard a screech outside at night. Well, you can't see what it is because there's not enough light. You need the Bionic Floodlight from Bell & Howell. The solar-powered, motion-activated, multi-directional floodlight that showers a super span of light right where you need it. Simply stick it in the yard or mount it anywhere around your home. The onboard solar panel absorbs the sun all day to energize a flood of light at night. No wires or installation frustration. Watch. The instant motion is detected. The Bionic Floodlight triggers 108 high-intensity LED bulbs on 3 separate panels. That instantly blasts an area of over 1,000 square feet with bright, penetrating light. Then automatically shuts off after the motion stops. Each panel is fully adjustable to direct the right light to the right spot. The Bionic Floodlight is the versatile wireless, safety, security, and outdoor lifestyle light you'll love. And it's from Bell & Howell, the brand name your family has trusted for over 100 years. No more arriving to a dark driveway or house at night. Place them in the ground to illuminate walkways and entryways. Add an evening accent light to your garden, or mount it to keep unwanted critters away. Adjust the panels to light your deck and your food on the grill at the same time. Add light by the hot tub or pool without dangerous electrical wires. Host a nighttime neighborhood hoops games. And enjoy the great outdoors at night, right out your front door or in the backyard.
No,
Move it anywhere for any reason, and in any weather.
Oh.
Best of all is backed by our exclusive Bell & Howell Bionic 10-year satisfaction guarantee. Get the Bionic Floodlight, and right now, it's yours for just $29.99, and shipping is free. Order now, and we'll send a second Bionic Floodlight. Just pay a separate fee. And when you call, ask about the contractor's discount on the 4-Light Family Pack. Get your Bionic Floodlight from Bell & Howell right now, and the shipping is free. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-535-9679 or go to bionicfloodlight.com. Again, that's 1-800-535-9679 or order online at bionicfloodlight.com.
1960. Carpacci family mobster Greg Scarpa was riding high until one of his rackets hit a speed bump. The FBI traced a large-scale truck hijacking back to Scarpa and his crew. Facing years behind bars, Scarpa was in a deep hole until the feds tossed him a lifeline. They would throw out his charges if he'd inform on his fellow mobsters. They'd even throw in some cash to sweeten the deal. Surprisingly, with little persuasion, he agreed. On October 27, 1961, Greg Scarpa delivered his first bit of insider info. He'd heard of 2 hijackings of cigarette truckloads by fellow mobsters and knew where the goods were stashed. The following week, the cigarettes were recovered, and the feds found themselves with an unprecedented asset.
Scarpa is believed to be the first made man in America ever to really flip and become an informer.
Greg Scarpa was a guy who considered himself first. I mean, he was not the kind of guy who, put the mafia above everything else the way they are supposed to, according to the oath that they take.
Scarpa received a small payment for his info, anywhere from a couple hundred to $1,000. But for Scarpa, it was not about the money.
I think he felt that the government
was a mark. Rather than he being the guy in trouble, which he was, he felt that I'm using them, they're using me.
That's a hell of a tightrope to be walking. The minute that anybody suspects that he's doing that, his life expectancy is in nanoseconds.
Scarpa was classified as a top echelon informant, one that delivered exclusive information to the FBI. His file name was 3461, code name 34.
His information was used early on to help give the FBI a better sense of the five families, what the commission was all about. He was the one who gave the FBI the blueprint of what the mafia was all about.
Scarpa might have been in bed with the FBI, but that didn't mean he would follow its rules.
The real puppeteer was Greg Scarpa. He was pulling the strings, giving the FBI information, and getting away with murder.
With money rolling in from his rackets and the government, Scarpa moved his wife, Connie, and their children into a large house on Staten Island. They had a swimming pool, cars, and cash. It looked like the American dream, but the American dream wasn't enough for Greg Scarpa.
He had a reputation as a ladies' man going way back. He was very impressed with himself, and he let the ladies know it, and they seemed to be impressed with him as well.
In 1964, he began a fling with a 17-year-old from Bensonhurst named Linda Diana.
Linda was just a poor girl who really didn't like working. In her neighborhood, she would see beautiful women wearing furs and jewelry, and she dreamed of being one of those.
The two first crossed paths at the Flamingo Lounge in Brooklyn.
He comes to the bar, and he says, "I'd like to buy you girls a drink."
She said that he was dapper, he was dashing, he was, kind of bigger than life to her.
There was an immediate spark. The 36-year-old mobster fell hard for the young beauty. In July of 1964, the couple traveled to Mississippi on what Linda thought was a romantic getaway. She was wrong. Once they arrived, Scarpa divulged that he was on a secret mission for the FBI. A month before, 3 civil rights workers had disappeared in Mississippi. The FBI suspected members of the Ku Klux Klan were involved, but no one was talking. As weeks dragged on, the Bureau grew desperate.
Hoover's people couldn't solve it. Somebody in the New York office came up with the idea, maybe if we use somebody like Greg Scarpa.
Under the direction of the FBI, Scarpa went to a local TV appliance store owned by KKK member Lawrence Byrd. Posing as a customer, he lured Byrd out by asking for help carrying a TV.
Greg said, "Let's go for a ride. Show me where the bodies are. I'll show you where yours is going to be."
Scarpa slowly walked Byrd to his car, and they took off.
They drove to a cabin that the FBI had provided, deep in the woods.
Inside, Scarpa went to work. First with the butt of his pistol. When Byrd refused to speak, Scarpa got angry.
He brings out a razor blade. He said he's going to castrate Byrd unless he gives up information about the missing civil rights workers.
The threat was enough. Byrd cracked and revealed the location of the 3 missing civil rights workers. Their remains were recovered a week later beneath an earthen dam near Philadelphia, Mississippi. The find was a victory for the feds and a feather in the cap of Gregory Scarpa.
Greg was very proud of his work with the FBI. In fact, he likened himself to James Bond.
Back in New York, Scarpa faced a new problem. His girlfriend Linda was pregnant. She begged him to leave his wife, but that wasn't an option.
You're not supposed to get divorced. because it's an indication of something wrong in your family life.
Instead, Scarpa set up Linda in a Brooklyn apartment and spent most of his time there. On June 21st, 1969, the couple welcomed a daughter, little Linda, and later a son, Joey.
He looked upon it as a perfect double life. He had 4 children by Connie, and he had 2 children by Linda, and the world seemed to be his perfect oyster.
As the 1970s unfolded, Scarpa had the best of all worlds. Loving women at home, a bustling business on the streets, and a relationship with the FBI. But the 45-year-old mobster was about to get a challenge.
The Scarpa guy
He never saw coming.
had 4 kids with one woman, was married to her, fucking had 2 kids with another woman, had money coming in from his rackets, and had money coming in from the government because he was the first made man to ever get flipped. If that, minus the snitching, that's an American dream right there.
Kate, she's a real Weight Watchers member. Kate knows for weight loss to last, you need a plan that's all about you. What you love and what you don't. Because food science shows when your plan is built for you, it's so much easier to stick to. So you can keep on living your life. Get your unique plan today at
Who, me?
www.com and love how good healthy feels. Start today. Go to www.com.
Yeah.
It's not on. Microphone mute. It's not. I know it's not.
Oh, damn.
This feeling of certainty comes from inspiring your customers and expressing heart.
I can't even get well, if you get a camera, there's a thing called
Display is a certain person that's willing to risk it all. That's a nugget right there.
the thing called Playroom.
Oh, Astro's Playroom?
Waffle maker. You want to make something
No, it
delicious
just
for the
says the
family that
Playroom.
everybody's going to go ooh and ah over? So
I don't.
The camera.
Oh, I don't know what it is.
No, I'm telling you.
Oh,
It's the, if you get a camera, it's a whole new controller thing. You can set up the controller and make it work and stuff.
yeah, I know. I got what's called I don't got it anymore. Or at least I don't have it installed.
Whole new controller. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. Hello, buddy. Yeah. Camera setup.
I'm here. I heard you this entire time.
Okay. When it goes quiet, it goes quiet, right? On my end, except
Blah, blah, blah. Just shut up. Shut up.
Hey, I haven't had. I don't know where to talk to all day, man.
I know you've been talking to a bunch of